Hello and welcome, everybody. It's time once again to talk some sports with you and us here on the Sconny Scoreboard weekly Wisconsin sports podcast on this, the 5th of June 2025. My name is Jason Streubel, and I'm, of course, here with the always wonderful Ben Hallett. How are you doing today, mon frere?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing. And that's about all I have to say about that. But
It's 80 degrees here in Wisconsin, so I mean that's good, and let's just hope it keeps steady, until December.
yep, steady 80 degrees for the next 6 months would be fantastic.
Yeah, let's just switch it up just a little bit for once.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But before we get too hell bent on hell-like weather, we got the. What are we talking about today? I guess it's just Brewers. It's just Brewers all day. It's Ben's
hot Brewers.
It's Ben's Brewers Breakdown for beer and baseball,
Brats and baseball and basketball and all the bees.
All the bees. Yes, all the bees. And it's a good time for it because, like, hey, it's summer. Technically, actually, it's still spring.
We're getting there.
Yeah, or almost. It feels like
summer.
Yep. So it only fitting that we talk about the boys of summer, since that's pretty much all that's going on right now. We'll get into some other fun stuff another time, but we're just gonna do Brewers Breakdown, the Ben's Brewer Breakdown.
Yeah.
So the Brewers are hot, actually. Like, let me just check. Oh, yeah, that's pretty hot, actually. And they need to be because the top end of that division is also just hot in general. So let's take a look. I mean, well, I'll bring up the standings here. Here we go. We got Chicago still up top with 38 and 23. St. Louis at 34 wins behind them. And then Milwaukee, also 34 wins. A couple more losses, but that's how baseball works. And, also, Cincinnati's sliding right now, too. I think they're
Cincinnati.
Yeah, they just became Cincinnati again, so that's helping.
We're above them, and now they're 4 back just from us and 9.5 back from the Cubbies. So they're on a slide. They
are sliding, in Milwaukee surging. What's the key? What's the key to all this? Because everybody's playing better, So what's really been the key to kind of take them to the next level?
Well, a couple things. Last time we talked a couple weeks ago was I brought up Yelich. What's happening? Is it the injury? Is it the what's happening? And then he was just NL Player of the Week. He had 5 home runs that last week. He was, I think, batting 500 that week. I think was his batting average for the 7 games. So yeah, crushing it. And then had another home run, right on Monday again. So 6 home runs in the last 9 games or whatever that is. That's pretty good. Pretty much showing that he's back on track. So don't know if that was still injury prone or just kind of hitting that slump, that bottom kind of feeling, and just turning something around. But hey, it's working. And I think last time we talked about it, he had 7 home runs, and now he has 13. Boom, just like that. So that's a big switch. Yeah, 13 home runs, 41 driven in now. So that's looking pretty great. So yeah, that's happening, and I think his hitting has been contagious since the bats have been just going off like mad. We were talked about almost all year that, especially this last month, there's been no run support, no bats. If you score 0 runs, you're never going to win. And there's a lot of those games over and over and over with the Guardians and the Twins. So that was, kind of concerning. So, yeah, but then we went out to Pittsburgh and we wanted to take four. We were talking about that. We should take all four of those because Pittsburgh's, it's Pittsburgh. They're at the bottom of our division and just not looking the greatest. But we took 2 out of 4. But again, we were scoring, 8 runs and 6 runs in those wins. So, building it up and then sweeping the Reds at home or the Red Sox at home, in 3 games was pretty great as well. And that was more of just comebacks. We came back in almost every one of those games. So showing that resilience, like, hey, we're winning games, 8-5, that kind of thing with Pittsburgh. But then we're also winning 3-2, 6-5, those kind of games as well. So taking those 4 games, after losing that one on Saturday in Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago was huge, And then the real test was going into Philadelphia because they're actually pretty damn good. Boston was they're kind of in that middle run. They're kind of like us. They're kind of hovering around 500 for the most part. So, taking them at home, great, but, what are we seeing out of that? I don't see a ton yet because we need to see a challenge. And then we go to Philly, and I didn't realize that if they don't have the Bryce Harper key, the machine doesn't work at all. And that's exactly what it was. He wasn't there, and they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, 17 runs in that second game. Oh, man.
Yeah, 6-2 that first game, which, again, that was pretty close. And then it kind of, we built up and, took that lead in the 5th and then held it, got another run in the 9th at the end there, 6-2, which was great. DL Hall's come back for starting pitching, and they've been ramping him up pretty slow. So 3 to 4 innings. So they've been putting Quentin Priester after him, and that has been working just great. I think he had I want to say 15 or 16 ground balls in relief in that game.
Okay.
Which was hey, that's no strikeouts, hey, no walks. 16 ground outs out of 19 batters or something like that he had. So again, that was great. Gave up a couple earned, but again, doesn't matter. You had to do 6 innings relief that game. So that's pretty impressive. Day, so long day. So that was great to see as well. That we're waiting for Woody to come back. He got a little sideline. I don't know if you heard about that. We can talk about that maybe a little bit afterwards on his comeback, unfortunately, yesterday. But yeah, to have that DL call coming in and ramping him up to now fill another, starting pitching spot for now until he comes. And then we're having that Quentin Priester coming to back him up, which they did again a couple days ago, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it's 6-2, and then the next day, 17-7. And again, those 7 runs, not the 7 runs, but the 5 of those 7 runs were in the 9th for the Phillies. So it was 17-2 going into 9th.
Yeah, that's a whooping.
That's a whooping. Yeah, Chad Patrick, 6 strong innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, no walks. Stellar start out of that kid. He's 3-4. His numbers are so much better than his record, but again, his runs that he's gotten since when he starts are 1, 0, 2. He's just not getting any run support, and now he's getting, he got 4 in the first before he even went out there. Got 4, so that puts you at ease, and you could see it. Just crushed it. Lazaro, the Phillies pitcher, I felt bad for because he was they kept him in there forever. He had a 2.1 ERA going in. He went to 3.4 after that game because he gave up 12 earned runs.
Yeah, man.
3-1 thirds innings. So that was kind of the beginning of the end. I thought we're gonna we're gonna sweep the Phillies, and we did. But yeah, 17-7. I thought it was great. They Rhys Hoskins, played in Philly forever. he came out. They've been like kind of giving a little standing ovation or applaud, when he comes out, and then that game hit 2 3-run homers, and then it was just like Philly fans. Boo. And I
Yeah.
was like, there they are.
Yeah.
There they are. Like, here we go. But yeah, everyone was raking home runs in that game. Hoskins had 2, and then like Cheerio had 1, and then just the RBIs. It was just insane, just greatness. All the pitching was amazing throughout, obviously, except unfortunately, who was it? Oh yeah, Tyler Alexander, who gave it the 5 in the 9th. But again, thank God we were up by 17. It was garbage. It is what it is. But yeah, it doesn't matter. 17-7, whipping, and then the next game on that Sunday, maybe a little lull, right? Like, because like Jose Quintana, they're joking like he was just coming back, his first game pitching just coming off the IL, starting, and like save me some runs, right? Like, like Jesus, 17 onslaught, like holy crap. But yeah. Quintana didn't get the win, but because he gave up 2. But we were down 2-1 in the 5th, and then the 7th we dropped 3, and then in the 9th we drop another, win 5-2. Just showing that resilience, showing that we're not going to stop, showing that in baseball it doesn't matter if you're down 100, up 100. If I'm a bat, I need to show that I am a pro, and I'm going to get that hit because we might be a team, but it's also individual. You got to show that you can do it. So, and that's what they did. They just kept raking and raking and raking and raking. So that was great. And then, basically, like I said, everyone's average basically went up like tenfold in the last week. Unbelievable amounts. Like, Yelich was in the under 200 when we were talking last time, and he's at 233.
Yeah,
No, actually, I'm sorry. It's even higher than that. This is just this game. It's even higher than that. But just nuts that like all these guys who are just kind of doing all right are just now on top of it, and we're going to be getting healthier. So you got to watch out for these guys, this team. So yeah, that was the Phillies series. Anything you want to add with either that whole week that we swept both, the Red Sox and the Phillies?
Right, which is just crazy in its own right, right? Like, I know, like you said, once you lose Bryce Harper out of that lineup, and that's a huge blow. Like, it just doesn't work the same anymore because he's so good. But I mean, sweep Boston at home, then go to Philly and sweep them in Philly. Like, that's not supposed to happen, even in a 3-game series. And yeah, you drop 1 to Cincinnati.
Happens.
You drop 1 to Cincinnati in a 3-game series. That sucks, but hey, it's a division rival. Really, you're just trying to come out of those ahead in the series, right? Like, you're not necessarily looking to sweep because you play them so much that you're going to drop games to them. It's just going to happen. But then,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so yeah. I was just saying, yeah. Again, that Red series, it should have been a sweep because that game we lost, it was tied because Jake Bauers hit a home run, and then that guy brought it back. So I mean, like, that's how close it was for being a sweep. Basically, like, they literally had to go over the wall and grab that ball to win the game. So to me, it was basically like a sweep because we dominated. Like we still should have came back and won that. It's just that one card didn't fall. And
they were clearly pissed about that card not falling too, because they come out and win the next game 9-1. So
they
were just like, look, okay, we're not gonna let that happen again. And then put the wood to them, kind of looking like what we expected them to look like, and hoped they would look like. Once we saw the injured lists at the beginning of the year, like, oh man, like, I think we even said, like, we were just kind of hoping they would hold serve until the guys started coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that last game, that 9-1 game, what was the pitching? DL Hall started off for 3-4 innings, couldn't push their 5 innings, like, it works. it sounds weird, but it's just like one of those quirks that maybe until Woody gets back, that fifth spot is those two guys just doing that, and so far they've given up one run.
Hey,
Oh,
man,
two runs
yeah.
now.
Isn't that what was it? Detroit did a lot of that last year. I think we touched on that. Like, they had this weird strategy whenever what's-his-name wasn't pitching. They just pitched by committee. Like, they they had an opener who would only pitch, like, the first inning or something like that. It was strange.
Yeah. I feel like at the end of the season, a lot of those teams do that as well when they're either, like, not going to make the playoffs and they don't have starting pitching that either is, like, going to produce anymore this year, like they're going to sit them or whatever, and they kind of do those pitching by committee. But I mean, I remember in some of the like Brewers in the playoff game, I think we had to do a pitcher by committee one time because just we didn't have enough people there, and they were just like, first inning is this guy, second inning is this guy, and it worked. We won that game after I think I remember years ago, but it's just it's just a weird recipe that usually doesn't ever work. But now it's proven that twice that, hey, let's keep this going if that's the only way we can do it. So,
hey, a W is a W, man.
Mm-hmm. Kudos again, Chris Hook. I talk about all the time, pitching coach, just crushing it again this year and the last 7-8 years. Because again, Nick Mears came in, closed the game. He's been phenomenal as well. So using just 3 pitchers in the game is always a good feeling as well. Because again, I feel like we're just depleting that bullpen forever, before that Pittsburgh series, and now it's just like whoever steps in can just kind of get it done, and that's been great. And again, none of these games that we've lost have been blowouts or really anything. It's just been, you lose by a couple runs and that's it. It's kind of normal. It's been nice not that like we've been blowing out people instead of the opposite. Like we've been putting the bats to them, and it's again just been great. Daz Cameron is, I don't know if you know who is. That's Mike Cameron's son who used to play for the Brewers. He was, he just came up not too long ago, and he's been playing the outfield, and his home run yesterday, and he's been in there and a lot more hitting. So again, you have these young guys like Isaac Collins and of course Jackson Cheerio, but all these young guys too that are coming up and contributing as well, when we already had like a Sal Frelick or a Yelich or whatever in the outfield. So it's nice to have these guys who are filling in those 1 or 2 days a week are now again hitting, and again the bats are just contagious. It's great, just great. They're 11-3 in the last 14 games.
Yeah, take that all day, man. You can't
complain. Not at all.
No, you mentioned somebody getting a little setback coming back off of injury. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so Brandon Woodruff, who's been out, all year and all last year too, he took a ball off his repaired elbow. Whatever. Not too many pitches in on Nashville. That was 2 days ago. So he's back on the 15-day DL. It's just a contusion, it's a bruise, basically, right. A bruised elbow or whatever. But again, it's just like, like he can't get a break, man. It's just like he doesn't want to pitch in Nashville anymore. He wants to pitch everywhere but Nashville, So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a 108-mile-an-hour ball off your elbow. It's it's probably gonna set back anybody if you had surgery or not. So, but again, X-rays are negative. That's really, what you want to see. So that was the scare. Is there like a hairline fracture or anything in there? But there isn't. So let's just hope that 15 days is nothing, and maybe one more minor league start, and then let's get him out there.
Yeah, or just bring him right up. Like, I mean, I think just
if needed,
he had how many rehab games?
Lot.
Like a bunch, like to the point where I don't even know how many he had. Right, so like,
I was gonna look it up real quick because I had him up here. I think he had it. I want to say maybe 4 or 5.
I thought it was higher than that, but either way, like I think he's good, right?
Twice minimum. So. What you think when you get to that stage is when you're going back to Milwaukee because you're a stone throw away. So
Yeah,
But then he went to Nashville again. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I guess you could send him back down for a game or two or whatever once he's off the IL, but I think he would be as warm as he should, as he can get at this point.
You'd hope so, yeah.
There is actually one thing I wanted to ask you, as you are a baseball man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making the little, like, team leaders screens that, like, people would see. And I noticed that Jackson Chourio has 40 more at-bats than anyone else on the team. And only 2 more games played. So, like, I'm not a baseball man. Can you explain to me how that happens? How he has, like, so many more at-bats? Because he has 70 hits. And I'm like, how does he have 70 hits? And he's, like, only batting 260. And then I look, he's got 269 at-bats already. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reason is because he leads off the most. So those leadoff guys are going to get one more at bat pretty much every game. And that's, unless we're getting 17 runs and spreading that wealth around, getting up there 6-7 times, that's really the only reason. It's him and Bryce Terang usually are, starting at that 1-2 position. So
okay, I didn't even think about leadoff doing that, but yeah, you'd get 1 or 2 more at bats like all the time.
Yeah, which is good and bad depending on how your season's going.
Yeah, if you're batting 260, that's fine, right? But he could bat a little better than that. But hey.
He's having a great season.
Yeah.
Just a great season, Jackson.
Batting
260 again.
Slugging's at 446, which is real nice. So, yeah, he's having a good season. I just was like, how is he... Because, like, Sal Felix, like, 291 batting average, and yet Jackson Chourio has more hits. And I'm like, well, what's Jackson Chourio batting? And I'm like, how does he have 40 more at-bats? But, they played 60 games, and he's leadoff hitter. So, yeah, he's going to get an extra bat or 2. So, that explains that. Thank you, Mr. Baseball Man.
Yeah. I was going to say, too, I did hear some... Because, we're coming up on a trade deadline and stuff like that's going to be coming up in Major League Baseball, too. And I heard that at some point here that the Brewers will probably be looking for someone on that left field or the infield, that shortstop and or third base. Because, again, those batting averages at left side, Caleb Durbin and Joey Ortiz are still Durbin's been doing better. He's been, again, taking advantage of these hits. It's hitting, more, but Ortiz is just... I've been reading so many things like he's just having bad luck this year. He's just hitting it right at people, and I'm like, that's great, but like you're batting 185. Eventually, you're gonna if you're hitting it so well, you're gonna get those gaps. You're gonna get those guys to drop it, or you're gonna get on base some way, and it's just not working out. So I feel like we're gonna be seeing something, this year, and maybe finally some buyers instead of sellers.
Okay.
Like, I would love to have, just because he hasn't been doing that well last couple of years in St. Louis, and again, it's in division rivals. Mm-hmm. I don't know, this is a stretch, but Nolan Arenado, I think, would be a great third base addition just for the rent for at least a year or something like that this year, because he's got a great history. Maybe just a change of scenery will just kind of spark it up a little bit more for him. But like, it's just you gotta do something. And I think that's really as far as I could go, as far as you can, or the best player you can get right now that maybe would be on the trading block down the road. But the only thing that would hurt us again is that St. Louis is probably not going to give us crap, especially during the season.
Yeah, right.
Especially when we're one game back from them right now.
Yeah. Hey, you want to help us make our team better while we're chasing you in the division race?
And we'll give you a prospect or something.
Yeah,
who hasn't proved a damn thing yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, yeah.
I mean, and shortstop is not it's not a typically a position you get a lot of offense out of, right? But man, 170, 180, you got to hit better than that, man. Like that's not going to cut it for a team that's behind the Cubs and Cardinals trying to get into the playoffs, right? Like they're going to need. Now, granted, it's working for now, but they're going to need something more reliable going forward, I think,
Yes, for sure.
I'd hate to see this be like the Brewers every year where it's like, yeah, Brewers, and they get into the playoffs and they get trucked like immediately. I'm tired of seeing that.
No. And that's the funny thing. So going back to like a couple years ago when Sal Frelick came up, he was going to be third base.
Oh.
But then he got gold gloves and platinum gloves and all these gloves out in the outfield that they're like, we're keeping you there. And now I'm like, hey, we got Daz Cameron and Isaac Collins and all these other young outfielders with Churio and Yelich. And, Garrett Mitchell coming back soon and all, and Blake Perkins coming back. Maybe we should be like, hey, Sal, if we don't find anybody, hey, Sal, would you mind going to third again? I don't know if that's an option, but, we need your bat in the lineup, and we need you at third, and we can put someone else out there that maybe give them a shot in the outfield that, Ortiz and Durbin haven't proven yet. So, that could be something, too.
Yeah, let Sal Frelick win a platinum glove at third base.
And just, and then keep moving around. And then he'll be the first player in Major League Baseball history to win one at every single position.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. It. Because,
you got to do something.
Yeah. I know, it's like one of those things where it's working now and you don't want to mess with it, but also, look at what the rest of the season is going to look like. Chicago doesn't look like they're going to shit the bed this year. And St. Louis is St. Louis. Yeah. They're always going to be a pain in the ass. So, knowing that there's something good going on with this squad is great, but I think you're right where there needs to be another something here. Something else needs to happen to really, really thrust them into the next level of the stratosphere.
Yeah. For sure. You got to solidify that infield, because if you do, and everyone's hitting, you're going to be unstoppable, and you're going to have to be with the Cubs and the Cardinals around, unfortunately.
Yes, sir.
Back to their old ways.
Those dirty Cubs.
Exactly. I think the Brewers still lead the majors in stolen bases, if I'm correct, which is pretty great too.
That's good.
I'm trying to think what they're at right now. I was going to look, because they were.
They had that one game where they stole like 14 bases in one game or something like that, just like a month ago. So yeah, they were doing good. Who's that? Pat Murphy? That's their manager.
Yeah.
Is that a Pat Murphy thing? Where he likes to play that small ball, or?
Craig Counsell kind of put that in perspective a couple years ago to do once the home runs, we used to be that home run hitting team, and once those were kind of falling off, it's like, what's the next thing? Get on base, get to second, get a hit, get in. There's got to be another way. No, we're in second right now. The Tampa Bay Rays do have 86. But again, it's nice to be in that top three because, again, how you generating runs? How are you still in the middle of the pack there with all these injuries? It's because you're stealing bases, you're getting in
free points, you're getting the
scoring position, and then they're hitting them in. It was so funny that 17-7 game. The Brewers were 11 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And I've never seen a stat like that.
Okay.
That's a pretty big stat.
It's pretty much all you can ask for.
73% of the time when someone's in running, in scoring position, they're hitting them in, which again shows 17 runs. But yeah, just That and that Colorado game, 17 runs. It was just we got to have more of those.
Mm-hmm.
We got to
Yeah,
have more of
right,
them.
right.
It makes baseball fun. Might not
Yes.
be for this opposing team, but for us, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So going forward, we got what is it? The Padres are the next series coming up.
Starting tomorrow, yeah.
Should be nice and sexy, and then a Braves series right after that. Important to do well in these series, I think, because these are teams that they're NL teams, and I don't know where Atlanta's sitting right now, but
They're not doing very well,
yeah.
Atlanta.
Okay, well, San Diego is a decent team. You know, you want to beat decent teams, you got to win these series. And then you have a 4-game series at home against St. Louis right after that. So, got to get that momentum going into that series. Try to take second place in the division.
Yep. But hey, we got Chad Patrick tomorrow night. Again, he's 3-4, but if you look at his numbers, he is crushing it overall this year. So that'll be great to see. Yeah. I mean, at home he's 2-2 with a 2.34 ER or 2.37 ERA. I mean, that's
very good.
2.97 overall this year. You know, so he is.
That's second on the team, I think, right behind, the main guy, Peralta.
Peralta, yeah.
You know, the one guy.
You know, the one guy who's always the goodest, who's the bestest. Yeah. Yeah. Patrick Quintana, Aaron Savali. He's been doing all right too. He's coming back from injury as well, so he'll be starting on Sunday. Which is a Roku game. That doesn't make any sense. What is going on? There's too many networks that we're jumping around to find the damn game now. Jesus Christ.
At least the Roku network's free. You know,
it is
at least
free.
you know you can watch that one.
Yeah. That's true. But I'm
it's
just
like,
man,
it's
really?
on this random obscure sports
So
channel.
it's
like,
Fox. Yes. Yeah. It's like FanDuel Sports Network on Friday, Fox on Saturday, and Roku on Sunday. You know, write them all down, folks. Can you find the game?
Yeah, right. Well, there's 162 of them. You got to work for them, though. Like, that's what makes football so nice. It's Sunday or maybe Monday, although they have the Thursday thing now, which is stupid. But it's Sunday and it's maybe noon or 3. You know, and it's on one of 2 channels. That's it. It's nice and basic. But, hey, 162 games, you got to spread it out. You got to make the money. Who am I to judge making the money?
No, that's what this is all for.
Exactly.
It's not about the averages. It's not about most of that shit. It's about the money.
It's about the money.
Wins will generate your money, but
not as much as television contracts.
Money. Especially baseball. Baseball, you can spend whatever you want, so that's all money.
Yeah, yep. And
imagine if the NFL was like that.
What's that?
Imagine the NFL was like that.
Oh.
You spend whatever you wanted.
Dallas would still be mediocre.
Oh, yeah.
100%. They'd have the highest payroll and still be mid.
The most money. You'd be throwing it around to just to everybody. Like it'd be like a fantasy draft. It's a keeper draft for you. Like have so much money to use, and like he's just like all the money on God knows. Jerry Jones. I don't even want to be his brain. Like who would he even pick with a bunch of money? It'd be someone god awful.
I wouldn't mind being one of the worms in his brain. Speaking of TV contracts, this is the Sconny Scoreboard. And if you want to get a hold of us for a TV contract, you can contact us. Email ssb@broforever.com. It's right in the ticker there. We got Bluesky credentials at sconnyscoreboard.bsky.social. You can go to broforever.com and get your merchandise too. I think that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook. We're on Facebook too. We're on that. You can get it. And YouTube, which you may be watching this on, or Spotify, which you might be listening to this on.
Or Apple, or any of the ones. There's so many. We're everywhere. Just again, we are not like Major League Baseball, where you have to go find us everywhere. Like, you just find one of those places and hit play.
And we're always there. Yep. It's not like we're here for one episode and then you go for Spotify for the next episode and then you got to catch the next one on YouTube. No. It's all everywhere.
Yep. Some of you guys just listen to it to get your sports information or relax. Some people do it to turn it on to get, something like their kids or someone out of the room. There's many ways to use our podcast.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Tell us which ways you use our podcast. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I use
it's like in college when someone's like, "Hey, I got a demo of our band. Here's my CD." I'm like, "Oh, great." Then the next time you come over, there's like a beer on it, like a coaster. You're like, "Oh, that CD?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got it right here. I don't think it's gonna work though. So.
This one. Let me just wipe that off. That's a scratch. It's fine though.
It's so funny how like this you go Nintendo. It's like that's all these. How do you fix it? Blow on it, spit on it, something, huff on it, whatever you gotta do. Just
blow on it. Try it again.
That's media.
If you keep trying, it'll work. I got PlayStations that work that way. Everything. So with that, I think that is our Brewers breakdown for early June. So early in the season. We still have like
July, August, September,
17
and all of June
to
pretty much still.
to go. We got a whole other year of baseball left, so that's fantastic. We told you how to get a hold of us. Please do so. We want to hear from you. And we appreciate you taking the time to hear from us. So stay cool out
Jason
there.
means business, or he's gonna whip you.
Yeah, my robe. I'm a robe guy now, so I got a robe belt.
Once you hit a certain age, just a robe appears, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna fly away. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Oh my goodness!
This is gonna be our most expensive episode. with this effect here at
all
the
the
end.
Special effects.
Oh God! Woo! He'll come out in 6 months on video.
For just it'll be like $1.6 million for just a little helicopter.
For 3 seconds of you going just flying on the screen. Now I can't wait to see it.
Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, we'll do it as a YouTube exclusive. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's sports. That's us, I think. So, like, subscribe, send us an email, let us know what you think. Drive safe, stay cool. Thank you for listening, everybody. We love you very much. Have a good night.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.